Just imagine, dear listener, you trust the people you love most, believe that nothing could shake this bond, until one day reality slaps you in the face. This is the story of a woman who discovered, in the worst possible way, that even maternal love can become a knife on her back. And the most surprising, just as, when least expected, can come brilliantly and relentlessly. Svetlana Uvarova, a successful 32-year-old professional, would never imagine that her own mother would be able to betray such a cruel betrayal. She considered herself mature enough to understand the complexities of relationships, but nothing prepared her for the blow she would come. It all started 3 years ago when her mother, Lyudmila Nikolaevna, married Igor Sanovich Kudryshev, a 5-year man younger than her. From the beginning, something in that union sounded false. Igor worked as security in a mall, earning a modest salary, while Lyudmila lived from a tight retirement after the divorce of Svetlana's father. Svetlana, on the other hand, had a stable life, a two-bedroom apartment in a noble neighborhood, inherited from her grandmother, and an excellent salary in a technology company. It was not long before the new stepfather showed an unhealthy interest in the stepdaughter's heritage. At family dinners, he asked insistent questions about his salary, implying that children should help parents. His eyes sparkled to see the new TV or the state-of-the-art notebook. Lyudmila, always with her husband, reinforced, "You owe us gratitude for what we did for you." Svetlana tried to maintain a distance, but couldn't make her ties completely. He visited his mother once a month, took gifts, sometimes helped financially, but the more she gave, the bolder the requests were. His apartment was a real temple of technology, a 75-inch TV for $200,000, a $120,000 professional coffee machine, powerful computers, tablets, smartphones, all the high standard. She worked hard, saved in leisure, but no effort to have the best in equipment. In June, after 3 years without vacation, Svetlana decided to give herself with a trip in Europe. He spent $300,000 in 2 weeks between Italy and France, certain that he deserved that moment. Before boarding, he passed his mother's house to say goodbye. Lyudmila, as always, asked detailed questions about the plans, noting dates. Igor, silent, smoked on the porch, but Svetlana noticed how he paid attention to each word. "Why don't you leave the keys to us?" said it in the mother with a sweet smile, too sweet. "If something happens in your absence, a leak, anything, we take care." Hesitant, Svetlana felt a bad feeling, but refusing her mother seemed rudeness. Okay, he gave in, but only in an emergency. The holidays were perfect. He disconnected from the world, enjoyed Venice, Rome, Nice and Paris, accumulating memories for a lifetime, until it came back, exhausted but radiant. When opening the apartment door, however, his heart froze. The smell of strange perfume and cigarette invaded his nostrils. By lighting the light, the scenario was from a meticulous robbery. TV, coffee machine, computer, tablets, everything was gone. To the kitchen blender. Only the refrigerator and the stove remained, probably because they are difficult to transport. The first impulse was to call the police, but then the truth hit her like a punch in the stomach. The only keys were with her mother. Would she be able to? With his handy hands, Svetlana dialed the number of Lyudmila. "Mom, what's going on? My apartment is empty." The answer came calmly, almost indifferently. "We only borrow some things, daughter." "Borrowed?" "Igor and I decided it was time for you to repay all the care we had with you. I didn't think your creation was free, right?" Svetlana felt the floor open under the feet. Her own mother stole her and still tried to justify. "Return everything now," he demanded. "Nothing will be returned," said Lyudmila, with a hard voice. "Consider this a payment for the 25th anniversary I spent creating you. If you want, call the police. Who will believe that a mother stole her daughter? You gave us the keys yourself, asked to take care of the place. We will say that you authorized." Igor took the phone, with an even more threatening tone. "Listen well, daughter. Your things are in good hands. Want back? It's 500,000 cash, and everything comes back to you. Otherwise, goodbye, technologies." Svetlana felt anger and despair mingle. Technically, they were right. There were no witnesses. The keys were delivered by her. But surrender. Never. The next day, taking a break at work, she went to her mother's house. Igor opened the door, wearing a new shirt with an arrogant smile. "Ah, finally visited us. Did you bring the money?" Without answering, Svetlana demanded to see her belongings. There were her TV on, the coffee machine shining in the kitchen, while Igor prepared a coffee, praising the equipment. "What a machine beauty, man. It would be a shame to sell if we don't reach an agreement." "Where is my mother?" he asked, containing the fury. "Working. Hey, did you miss?" At that moment, Svetlana understood that arguments would be no use. Those two were convinced of their impunity. But she was not the kind that gives up. That night, while reflecting on what happened, an idea came up. If you could not prove the theft directly, technology could be your ally. All its devices were modern, linked to their accounts, with GPS and remote lock systems. With a few clicks, Svetlana activated lost mode on all devices. Tablets and smartphones crashed instantly. TVS stopped responding to control. The computer, when connected, asked for a password that only she knew. But that was just the beginning. Searching the internet found a company specializing in recovery of stolen electronics. Experts explained that each device had a single serial number, GPS tracking, and linking to their account, proving the property would be easy. Worse, he found that Igor had already announced some items for sale online. In your profile, photos of your coffee machine and video game were exposed with suspiciously low prices. The trap was armed, and this time, the rogue would fall into the trap itself. The advertisements without reach prices were the missing proof. Now she had confirmation that they tried to get rid of the crime product. The next day, the phone rang. It was the mother. Svetlana, what did you do with your devices? Lyudmila Nikolaevna's voice trembled between anger and despair. Nothing works. The TV does not turn on. The computer asks for passwords that no one knows. What do you mean, Mom? Svetlana responded with calculated innocence. How strange. Did you break something? It didn't break anything. The mother's voice went up. You did something. How can you move our technique if you are in your home? Because it's not our technique, Mom. The phrase escaped before Lyudmila could contain herself. And yours. A heavy silence. Svetlana felt the exact moment when the trap was closed. So it's my technique. Her voice, once soft, cut the air like a blade. Why are you with you? We had a deal. We had no agreement. The mother tried to justify himself, but it was late. You're inventing things! No, Mom. Svetlana did not raise the tone. I didn't need to. You stole my things, and now they try to sell them. I have evidence. The ads that Igor posted, the device numbers, the GPS data. Do you want me to show all this to the police? Silence on the other side of the line was enough response. Svetlana, don't call the police. Lyudmila's voice broke, pleading. We return everything too late. She cut, ruthless. You chose this way. The next day, the police report was filed. Svetlana attached prints of the publications, the records of the serial numbers, the device location historicals. The case was so obvious that even the investigator shook his head, incredulous with the audacity of the thieves. Igor Semyonovich was arrested at work. During the search in his apartment, the whole stolen technique was recovered. Lyudmila tried to blame her husband, swearing that she knew nothing, but messages on her phones told a different story. The mother and stepfather emptied my apartment while I was on vacation. They took equipment that was worth 750,000 rubles and still had the face of the stick to say it was a compensation for my livelihood. Svetlana told the investigator, without a trace of emotion in the voice. A single phone call, the one who blocked all the devices, had triggered a chain reaction that now destroyed them. The trial was fast. The tests were irrefutable. The stolen devices, the attempts to sell, the GPS data, the conversations between the accomplices. Igor received 2 years in conditional arrest and a fine equivalent to the value of the loss. Lyudmila was sentenced to a year, also conditional. But the worst punishment did not come from the loss, but from the public eye. The story became headline. Mother solved her own daughter in compensation by creation. Neighbors, colleagues, known all commented on the case with disgust. Igor lost his job. No shopping center wanted a security guard convicted of theft on their ranks. Lyudmila couldn't leave home without being the target of crooked and whispered eyes. It's all your fault, she screamed on the phone, as if Svetlana were the villain. You have embarrassed us before the whole city. No, Mom. Svetlana's answer was cold, accurate. You were ashamed alone. I just defended what was mine. Family does not steal family. You wanted to look at my expense. Now they reap what they planted. 6 months after the verdict, Lyudmila divorced Igor. It was found that the idea of the theft had been his. She, only one executor, but it was late. His reputation was ruined. Svetlana recovered all her belongings. Some devices were damaged. Igor, in their desperate attempt to unlock them, had broken carcasses and connectors. But it didn't matter. What really mattered was the lesson learned. Blood ties do not entitle impunity. People capable of such betrayal do not deserve mercy, not even when they are their own family. The ties with the mother were cut forever. Lyudmila tried several times to reconnect. She turned on, appeared on her door, begged. Svetlana remained irreducible. Confidence had been destroyed beyond any repair. 2 years passed. Svetlana was promoted at work, bought a new car, planned the acquisition of a country house. Her life flowed with the tranquility that was once unknown to her, free from the toxicity that asphyxiated her. Lyudmila on the other hand, never recovered. In a small town, everyone knew each other, and the case of the assault on his own daughter became legend. Finding a job was almost impossible. Who hires someone who stole from their own daughter? Igor moved to another city, but until then his story chased him. The technologies he tried to steal were, in the end, his tormentor. Sometimes Svetlana received messages from former mother's acquaintances. They said that Lyudmila had aged early, often sick, lived alone in a rented room, no money for these essentials. But that didn't arouse mercy. She remembered the cynical words about sustenance compensation. He remembered as a mother and stepfather divided the beauty, planned the sale, laughed at their naivete. Some betrayals have no forgiveness. Now it's ranging teeth, isn't it? Abba, flipping through the photos of his last vacation. They should have thought of it before they betray me. The story served as a lesson for many. In the city's social networks, the case was cited as an example of what happens when greed and disrespect for their own children mingle. Parents started to better measure their demands. After all, modern technology does not forgive nor the children when they decide to defend themselves. Svetlana won more than her devices back. Gained freedom. He gained the certainty that he was stronger than he had ever been next to those who should protect her. A single phone call had changed everything for the better.